Okay, Peggy Nash, you know, diversifying, you know, that's something the government is working hard on, but obviously it's not going to deal with the immediate issue here of what's happening in the United States. Do you think that there's anything that Canada can do in the immediate if we don't, the government, you know, taps aren't turned back on, and then if we run into this debt ceiling problem?
Well, obviously the situation in the U.S. is very, very troubling, and although the U.S. markets have not reacted very negatively to date, I think it's because they felt that the shutdown was going to happen, and they somewhat were prepared for it. But there is real concern about the debt ceiling vote on the 17th. And I agree with Christine Lagarde that this could have global impacts. Certainly if the current shutdown lasts for some time, it could have serious repercussions. This side of the border, I mean, our parliament isn't even sitting. We can't even debate the issue right now. I think that's a problem. What could we do here? First of all, I think it would be helpful to hear from parliamentarians so that we know what the impacts currently are, or what businesses, what tourists are concerned about. For example, those that are trying to export fresh produce, are they having problems? What are the concerns for just-in-time manufacturing? We cannot insulate ourselves from the impact of this really political crisis and economic problems with our largest trading partner. But the question for us is there a role for government to play in terms of helping consumers, businesses, tourists on this side of the border just to manage this difficult period? And I think really our parliament ought to be sitting so that we can at least discuss what's happening in the U.S.
Okay, with all due respect, I'm not sure what discussion would do, though. What sort of action would you propose? And Scott Bryson, jump in as soon as Peggy Nash has come up with an idea there.
Well, no, but what I'm talking about is, first of all, our government needs to know what impact, not only today, but potentially what impact this shutdown could have on the Canadian economy and Canadians in general. But secondly, you know, basic things like making sure that businesses, shippers, tourists have the information that they need in order to prevent, for example, shipments being stuck at the border, production being affected, so that our businesses understand what they're dealing with, because that uncertainty alone can create problems. Getting the right information, I think, is key.
Peggy Nash, do you think the government's doing enough to diversify in order to deal with the, you know, when we run into these problems with the United States?
Absolutely not. Our free trade negotiations so far have been pretty much an abject failure, and the government has initiated lots of discussions but has completed very few. But regardless, our balance of trade numbers keep getting worse. We've relied on consumer spending to get our economy going again since the government's stimulus spending ended, but consumers are really tapped out. Yes, we should be diversifying our markets, negotiating fair and balanced agreements, but our trade numbers have really been very, very bad. This government's record has not been a success. I think they're hoping for something better. I think our economy needs something better, so we really need fair, balanced, negotiated trade agreements. We'd like to see them successful in negotiating something in the near future.